the stream, man. The
Sir,
pod,
yes,
man.
sir.
I'm back, here with Caleb.
What's good with y'all?
The stage kind of dead, man. The stage is kind of dead. But we'll watch the ones court. We'll go to this threes court. But Caleb, what we talking about today, man?
Man, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 topics today, John. 9 topics today for this podcast. It's gonna be a good one. So, brother Mari, if you listening, you could listen to this at work or on your job or whatever. But first, what we gonna do is we're gonna do a Millie tier list. So the tiers are like this. At the top, we got the sweaty. Then you got tier A, tier B, and then the trash tier. You ready to start? And then what we're also gonna do is go over who is a good matchup against certain players.
Let me pull up my the Mealy characters, because I don't remember all that.
Oh, no, I have it right here. Hold on. I'm about to... Do you have your laptop or phone with you?
Yeah, I got the laptop.
Alright, go type in Mealy tier list, and then I'll tell you which one to click on.
Alright, I typed it into Google.
Alright, do you see the third one where it says create a Super Smash Bros. Melee tier list from Tier Maker?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, click on that one.
I see it, I'm on here.
Alright, yeah. And then so that way you could like put them in with me so you can see where we got them at.
So you starting with Bowser?
Yep.
Man, I don't know.
Because... Alright, go ahead, my bad, go ahead.
I don't know. It's like, because I see the tournaments.
Uh-huh.
I see who the top players use, like, Jigglypuff. You know what I'm saying? But, for my purposes, Bowser is not a top tier character. He's got a good grab. I don't know how to move around with him. He got a good B button, though. A good B button. I put him in... cause you said we got a sweaty tier.
A tier, B tier, then trash.
Yeah, he probably more of a
matter of fact, let's change it up. Sweaty, A tier, Ezra tier, and then trash. Because when I say Ezra tier, I'm meaning we could use these characters to easily beat like Ezra and like any other cousins, and then you got the trash.
Ezra isn't bad though.
He's not bad, but some characters you can't beat him with.
Yeah, I probably couldn't beat him with Bowser.
So you're putting him in Ezra tier?
I put him below Ezra tier. Well, you can't put him in Ezra tier if you can't beat Ezra with them.
So wait, should we change Ezra tier back to B tier?
I think you should have sweaty tier, casual tier, and trash.
So just sweaty, casual, and trash?
Well, you can just do sweaty. Can you beat Ezra with some in trash?
Okay, so sweaty, Ezra, and trash. That's it?
But I think that Bowser's trash.
Yeah, I think Bowser's trash too. So, are we agreed to put Bowser in the trash category?
Yeah, Bowser is trash.
Alright, next we got Captain Falcon. What are your thoughts about this?
I put him in Ezra tier.
Oh.
I know, I've seen people that are good with him, but I'm not good with him. I'm just not really great at melee. And for me, he's pretty fast. If you are good with the B button, good with the grabs, you could make something shake, but...
I mean, I'm thinking with Captain Falcon, there's not too many good matchups that are good against him besides really Marth, who can really counter him. Because you got his side B, you got his Falcon punch, you got his Falcon kick. He's quick, elusive, agile, all that. I honestly want to put him in a sweaty tier. Because if we just doing sweaty Ezra tier or Ezra / casual tier, then trash. I'm going sweaty with him.
Yeah, you're pretty good with Ganondorf, but I can respect it. So he just for me, he's not up there.
All right, here I'm gonna put A tier here, and then Boom. So we have sweaty, A tier, Ezra slash casual, and then trash. Is it agreed to put him on A tier at least?
He said sweaty. What?
A tier, Ezra slash casual tier, and then trash.
Why is there a sweaty tier and the A tier?
Because sweaty is just like, no matter what, like this dude is legit. Like, it's always gonna be a sweaty game. Like, I can already say Martha's going in the sweaty tier, because no matter what, it's.
So then you can put Falcon in the A tier.
Yeah. Okay. So all right, yep, we got Falcon in A tier.
You can probably put DK in the B tier.
B. So we're adding another tier, or are we putting him in the Ezra casual tier?
That's the Ezra.
Man, cause I don't know, cause if you're good with DK, you can be like a monster, and especially in the multi-man melee game modes, DK is low key that guy.
Bro, I feel like A tier and Ezra tier is similar because you can, if you're good with DK, yeah, but me, it's like it's hard, kill, because are we doing this based on conglomerate decisions, or are we basing this off of personal experience?
We can base it.
I know for a fact
we can base it off of
that
personal.
you ain't good with DK.
Don't do that.
I know for a fact.
Bro, I'm nice with DK. You know I'm nice with DK.
Ezra, if you fought Ezra and Grace and you had DK,
I'm giving them the business. Which
I don't know, man.
I'm giving them the business with DK
because niggas ain't trash. Like DK, first thing, you can't really move. Like I put him, like, but because I say the Ezra tier and the A tier is like the same.
So should we?
Unless if Ezra tier is I'm cool with putting DK in the A tier. I say Dr. Mario's A tier.
So wait, so we're agreeing to put DK in A tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I say Dr. Mario's in the A tier as well.
You see, that's where you lost me.
How is Dr. Mario in the S tier?
I'm putting him in trash tier.
Dr. Mario is not trash, Kill. If you say Dr. Mario is trash, you gotta put Mario there too.
Now Mario is definitely sweaty tier. But
I'd put Dr. Mario in A tier, bro.
What is your argument for Dr. Mario being A tier?
He's the same as Mario. He got the same. He might. I don't know. I haven't played Melee in a minute. He may be a little slower, but he's got a more powerful C stick.
It's true. And you're right, he is slower, but overall Mario is a lot more balanced.
But Dr. Mario is easier to, if you get a C stick with Dr. Mario, that's damage.
It is. But also people ain't just running to grab Dr. Mario.
See, what is this criteria we are using? What is this criteria?
I'm thinking of it as, if me and you, like, how do you feel about the character, and like, just what do you think that is? What do you feel like is appropriate for the character?
Does Dr. Mario deserve to be where Bowser is at?
Okay, you're right. He don't.
Dr. Mario and DK, that's the same level. Now, if we move them both to Ezra, I say Dr. Mario. A tier is the lowest I'll go.
For Dr. Alright, how about Ezra casual tier? Because I could put him as a casual.
No, man. I'm decent with Dr. Mario. I can't speak on this nigga. I'm kind of ashamed to have him at the same tier as DK, because I'm not good with DK.
You are good with DK.
Nobody in the fam is good with DK. DK, I feel like is more of a show-off character.
Yeah.
If you got,
So are you saying move DK to the Ezra casual tier, move Dr. Mario to A tier?
I say that's what I would
Okay,
say.
alright,
That's what I would say.
I'm moving it like that. Alright, DK's moving down to Ezra Casual tier. Dr. Mario is in A tier with Captain Falcon right now. Alright, next we
Now
got
with
Falco.
Falco and Fox, with Falco, I don't gotta. I don't know about Falco. I don't really use Falco.
I would honestly probably put. I mean, if this was Brawl, I put him in trash. But since it's melee, I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle of casual and A tier, and I'm kind of in the middle of if I want to make another tier, just like a B tier. Cause
He'd probably be in with the Ezra tier.
that's what I'm thinking too.
That's B tier. It's Ezra tier
That is true.
because it's not. It's not. It's like, can you beat a level 9 computer with him?
Falco, you got to be like really sweaty.
You don't gotta be too sweaty. Falco's got quick punches. He's got quick kicks. He can get back to the stage. He's got a decent grab. If he's got a good C stick.
But I guess my thing is like with Fox and Falco, they're like weak to me because either way it goes, if I see somebody's choosing them, and if it's a one-on-one, I'm gonna choose Mario, and I'm gonna give him that work easily.
But the thing about Fox and Falco is, if you can sit across the map and spam B,
You could.
build up niggas' damage. But if you have Mario, yeah, you can reflect them back. But it's like, you said I agree. I say that Fox and Falco are Ezra tier.
Okay.
Tier.
And I agree with you. Now we on Ganondorf.
Ganondorf.
I mean,
don't think he's great.
if it's CPU Ganondorf, that's sweaty tier. But I feel like regular Ganondorf is trash tier, just off the fact that he's slow. Granted, if he does get a hit off, it gives more power, and it gives more damage. But at the same time, it's just like nobody really uses him. He doesn't have any speed. He's just overall just like not a good character to use, especially in like a competitive fight or like a casual fight. Like if it's like, even if it's like a 4-player fight, like it just doesn't work.
So you're saying Ganondorf is what tier with Bowser?
Yep. I'm saying that game.
I can agree with that.
So
Cause that Ganondorf kick can throw your ass off the stage.
it can, but it has to land though.
No, that's what I'm saying though. I'm saying like you can use the kick and end up off the stage.
It's true. We're no way back. Alright, so just to go over a quick recap, we have Captain Falcon and Dr. Mario in A tier. Ezra in the Ezra casual tier, we have DK, Fox, and Falco, and in the trash tier, we have Ganondorf and Bowser.
Yep.
Alright, next we got Ice Climbers. How do you feel about them?
Trash.
Yup. we ain't even gotta say too much.
Jigglypuff. Trash.
Yup. Totally. Kirby. I'm thinking casual. I mean, I'm in the middle of casual and A tier.
That's disrespectful.
I'm thinking, alright, what are you thinking right now? You thinking A tier?
Kirby is good in every Smash Bros. Game.
Okay.
I don't think we can argue with that.
That is true.
Because in a sweaty fight, I say Kirby might be in S tier.
The sweaty tier?
The sweaty tier, bro.
Ooh.
For the simple fact that Kirby is a pick up and play. You can use that character. You don't gotta be good. The punches are good. The C stick in every direction has good reach, good recovery to the stage. Like even when you need, like good players will punish you.
That's true.
Like if you fly up in the air and you're coming down fast, you can get punished. It's like if you use Link or Toon Link. You know what I'm saying? If you use Link or Toon Link, oh, okay. You may be able to hit niggas with the sword a couple times, come down with the C stick. But if you come down to the C stick, somebody rolls out the way, they can punish you. With Kirby, you come down with the rock, they roll out the way. They can punish you, but I agree. If we move Bowser, if we moved everybody down a tier and moved everybody down one tier, I'd put Kirby in the A tier alone. Not quite S, because Kirby has a lot of punishable moves. Like Kirby, Link, and Toon Link, I'd put them all in the A tier because they're all you can pick up and play as these niggas, and it's decent. But they all have punishable moves, man.
That is true. So are you saying that you want to add another tier?
Yeah, I moved everything down a tier and put Kirby in the A tier.
Okay. So what's the other tier that we're gonna have for just Kirby then?
Hey, we're just going. S is Sweaty.
Uh-huh.
C is Ezra tier.
Uh-huh.
No. Yeah, S is Sweaty. C is Ezra tier. D is trash. A is good, but not top quality. And B is not good, but not bad. B should be like
Alright, so here's how I have it typed out on my thing. I have Sweaty, A tier, B tier, Ezra, Casual tier, and Trash tier. And then you said put Kirby in the A tier. Then we have Dr. Mario and Captain Falcon in B tier. And then
But I know this is
man, I don't know.
I think we can put Link and Young Link in the A tier.
Yeah, I kind of want to move Captain Falcon to A tier then, because he has punishable moves.
Man.
All of his moves are punishable. That Captain Punch, he has the Falcon Kick, his C stick.
We can. I said we can. I actually, everything was fine how it was. Kirby is just is a B tier guy, bro. He deserves to be with Captain Falcon and Dr. Mario.
Okay, so we're putting Kirby in B tier.
Yeah, we can just leave the A tier open.
Okay, so we have Sweaty, A tier, B tier, Ezra, Casual, and Trash. Hey, how do you feel about moving Captain Falcon up to A tier? Cause I feel like he's an A tier character.
Captain Falcon is good. Captain Falcon is decent.
Cause there's only a couple people in the game who can really give him issues.
Who would they be?
I would really say Marth will give him issues, Roy might, and that's all I could think of. Anybody else, I don't really see them giving him issues.
The problem with Captain Falcon is he has no recovery.
That is true.
He has no recovery. So if you off the stage, you are off the stage. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
If you get knocked, if you off, like let's say you pick Captain Falcon, I pick Kirby, and we go to Dreamland. You know, if I hit you with a B, and I hit you with one of them things, and you are from Fountain of Dreams, hey, if you off the stage, you can't recover, because if you recover, his recover back, you know, you're like susceptible to get clapped. Now, your specific Captain Falcon is A tier, but we could say that my Kirby is A tier. Because back in the day, I used to use nobody but Kirby.
That is true. Back in the day, that Kirby was powerful.
Mario. And Curtis used to be decent with that little fox with the orange.
Man, I don't know about that, because I used to give him the business with Mario. That's the only reason why I'm like, yeah.
That nigga went left, right 3 times. That's crazy. I'm in the stage. It's 2-5. They're on the 10,000 court.
Man.
He threw a turnover. That's crazy.
I'm in this stage with my 60 overall play shot.
Green bean. That's crazy. What's count? It's 2-8.
Over here,
them boys
it's dudes on the one game. It's only like 3 people here. It's just bigs. All right, so are we keeping Captain Falcon in B tier, or are we moving on? Okay. Hey,
keeping him in B tier.
I don't like seeing Dr. Mario in B tier.
Actually, we'll move him to A. Him and Kirby and Dr. Mario in A. Link and Young Link in B tier.
So okay, and then you said Link and Young Link in B. All right, I'm moving on.
In B, because their moves are slow.
I mean, honestly,
but they do have moves. If they connect, it does damage.
It does, but
they're boosting.
A lot of these people are.
They're boosting on the 10K core.
That is crazy. Imagine boosted on the 10K. Would you say that I mean, cause I'm not gonna lie, I probably would say Young Link is more A tier and then Link is more casual / the Ezra tier, just off the simple fact that Young Link is faster with the same movesets. And then especially when he does that Z button to grab, if he misses, he like brings it back quicker. And then he's just a lot quicker than Link with like the same movesets and does like the same amount of damage, whereas Link is like slower in a lot of moves.
I didn't know that. Yeah, we can do that. We can put Young Link in B and move Link to C.
Oh, I mean,
Young Link deserving of being
move him to A.
Captain Falcon.
I will say yes, because if I went against anybody and they just chose Young Link, I might have to think about which character I'm choosing, because I know all the moves that Young Link can do. Because he can use that. Because he can use the Z button to grab on ledges when he's like off stage. When his up B doesn't really work. He has the bow and arrow. He has the boomerang. He has the bomb that he can do, and then he has the sword, a pretty strong C stick.
What moves be connecting with Young Link?
He got the boomerang, the bow and arrow, the bomb, the C stick.
The boomerang wouldn't have anyone got hit with that boomerang.
Man, I could pull it out and I could use it on anybody. Look, and then you have many different combos you could do. You could do like, and then plus his the bow and arrow is a fire bow and arrow. So you get it, you burn up a little bit, and then you could like just switch it up. You could throw the boomerang and then do a quick bomb throw, and then bow and arrow.
All right, he can go to A tier.
Okay.
B tier's empty.
Yep. All right, so just a quick recap again. Nobody's in the sweaty tier yet. A tier, we have Captain Falcon, Kirby, Dr. Mario, Link. Nobody's in the B tier. In the Ezra casual tier, we got DK, Fox, Falco, Link. And trash tier, we got Bowser, Ganondorf, Ice Climbers, and Jigglypuff. Alright, we got Luigi. Yep. How do you feel about Luigi?
Mari's Luigi puts him in S tier, man.
It's the sweaty tier?
Mari's Luigi,
man,
is like that.
What happened this summer? It wasn't like that this summer.
Mari's Luigi is like that.
I'm saying maybe B tier at most. Because if you think about it, oh my bad.
No, you good. You can keep on talking.
I was about to say, if you think about it, his Luigi is solid. But that's the only Luigi that's solid. Not everybody could pick up Luigi and still be like nice. Like you said, anybody could pick up Kirby and do some damage. Or they can pick up like a Dr. Mario, and if they get the right hits on you, they can do some damage. If you pick up Luigi, it's like you don't really have many combos that you could do. And I just feel like he's more of like a B tier character, because it's like if you pick Luigi, it's like, okay, you can beat him. But yeah, Mario's Luigi was like that. But anybody else, they Luigi not doing nothing.
Yeah, Luigi as a conglomerate. But Caleb, if we put Luigi, what tier would you put Luigi in then?
I'm thinking B tier.
If we put Luigi in B, then Pikachu is for damn sure not an S.
We gonna get the Pikachu.
Caleb,
we gonna get the Pikachu.
If we can't respect Mari, let me tell you, man. If we're not respecting Mari's Luigi, and we're not putting Luigi in S tier, Caleb. Cause Luigi in B tier makes sense to me. I can't lie. It makes sense. No recovery. Just you gotta be on the stage.
That's
You
it.
get off the stage.
That's it.
You know, Luigi in B tier makes sense. But let me tell you this: if we don't respect Mari's Luigi, then Caleb, we can't respect your Pikachu. Because your Pikachu is not a good character.
We ain't gonna get the Pikachu, John. We gonna get to him. Give us some time. So, do we agree to put Luigi in B tier?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got Luigi in B tier. All right, Mario. Let me know.
S tier.
You said sweaty. I appreciate that. Marth, sweaty tier.
I can respect it.
All right. How about Mewtwo?
Trash.
I,
Mr. Game and Watch.
trash.
I agree with that.
All right. Ness. How do you feel about what tier do you feel is good for Ness? Me, I feel like if you're good with Ness, you're good with Ness.
B tier.
Ooh, B.
I say B.
I'm thinking trash.
You thinking trash?
Because if you think about it,
Ness
right?
has no recovery.
Ness doesn't have any recovery. He does have good moves, but you have to be really good. Like somebody who's as smart as you would be good with Ness off the simple fact that they could string together some moves and some combos.
The lowest
and then,
I'm going with Ness is Ezra tier.
Alright.
Because I know, Caleb, you just gotta hit a couple. He has the bat as a C stick. Now, Caleb, it's no recovery. He has no recovery.
No, but
we got that.
But if you think about it, it's really the bat and PK Fire. That's it. PK Thunder doesn't work. PK Cross doesn't
you don't
work.
need much else. You got the bat, and you got the yo-yo, and you got PK Fire.
That's it.
That's more than enough to beat somebody that's not good at the game.
But if you were Ness and you ran up against a Kirby, would you be nervous?
But then why? That's what I'm saying. Ezra tier.
Okay, all right. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Now Peach, Ezra tier. I'm thinking Ezra tier because I feel like Peach is the same as Ness for the simple fact that no because
they got the similar C sticks.
Yeah, they got similar C sticks. When Peach brings out that Toad, it does do damage if you do it the right way. You just got to be good with Peach.
I can get jiggy with Ezra tier.
Pichu's
trash.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, we don't even got to say much. Pikachu,
I say B tier.
You say B tier?
Mm-hmm.
I say I'm on the border of casual and trash. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Because if you think about it, Pikachu really doesn't have great recovery.
I'll put Pikachu in trash.
Yeah, Pikachu doesn't have great recovery. Really doesn't really have many moves to use. It's just the C stick is solid.
But that spinning, the C stick is. I feel like you can put Ezra tier because that spin thing is nice.
Okay, so we're putting Pikachu in the casual Ezra tier.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next is Roy. I'm thinking trash.
Let me think. I put Roy in Ezra tier.
Okay, I can agree with that. What you feel about Samus?
Trash.
I feel like Samus might be B tier. Because you have the side B missiles.
With Luigi?
Alright, how about if we move Luigi to A tier and move Samus to B tier?
No. If anything, I'll move Luigi down to Ezra tier and move Samus to Ezra tier.
Ooh, what is the reasoning for you to move Luigi down?
Luigi is the same as Ness, the same as Peach, the same as Pikachu.
Just
good moves, just no recovery.
Okay, I can get down with that. So we're moving Luigi and Samus to casual. Alright. So for Sheik and Zelda, do you want to put them kind of both as like the same character?
That's fine with me.
Alright. How do you feel about Zelda Sheik. I'm thinking B tier.
No.
No? I mean, alright, so
the B tier is empty.
It is empty. The only reason I was thinking that is because I was like, they have good moves, they have solid stage recovery, and then also like both of them have like something that works for like each transformation. It's like, yeah, more people do use Sheik, but it's like if you use Zelda and you know how to use Zelda, you can become effective. And then also you could spam transformations when they do attacks and get dodges that way. And then also you have that little instant transmission move with a Sheik.
You ain't hit nobody after that move.
That is true. All right, so you saying casual tier?
Why are they not trash? They don't have any good C sticks.
You right, they don't have good C sticks, but I do remember EJ was solid with Sheik.
Caleb, we can't do that.
You're solid with Sheik, and just overall,
we can't do that.
Overall, I feel like as a matchup, if you were to grab Sheik or Zelda and you were to be like a casual player, you could pick it up and do solid. Well, actually, yeah, you're right, trash. I'll go with trash because they really don't have good stage recovery. They have a couple good moves, but you have to be like really good with them.
Yoshi, I'm putting out Yoshi Ezra tier.
You putting Yoshi Ezra tier?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with it. All right, so that's it for our list. Let me take a quick picture so I can upload soon. So we got Sweaty tier, Mario and Marth. A tier, Captain Falcon, Kirby, Dr. Mario, Young Link. The casual Ezra tier, DK, Fox, Falco, Link, Yoshi, Ness, Peach, Pikachu, Roy, Samus, Luigi. And trash tier, we got Bowser, Ganondorf, Ice Climber, Jigglypuff, Mewtwo, Game & Watch, Pichu, and Zelda Sheik.
Yep.
Alright, so the second thing I wanted to do with what we have is we'll take the characters we have and we decide who are they a good matchup to go against. How does that sound for you?
I feel like Marth, if somebody chose Marth, Pikachu's good, Fox, Falco, people with those projectiles that can go across the screen. I feel like we can even there's two types of characters. There's the Marths and the Marios. The people that can reflect stuff and the people that can't. So if you have Fox, you're playing Marth, you can sit across the screen and just press E and build me up.
But you could, but then the thing is, when you come in close, Marth can reflect.
Yeah, when I come in close, it's gonna be a wrap.
And then there's not many things you can do. Whereas where I would say the only good matchup for Marth is Mario, off the simple fact that I could run in, I could hit you with the cape, turn you around, and then I could grab you and do things, or I can just come in and I can grab you, and then I could throw you. I don't have to come in and immediately press A or something. I could come in, I could press B, get you with a fireball, then I could slide in.
I can agree. I don't really know matchups wise, because when I play the game, I'm like, hey, I go Marth.
Off rip.
Yeah, Marth is my best character. I'm decent with Ness, decent with Dr. Mario, decent with Mario.
Alright, so we can skip and go to the next topic. You ready?
Alright.
Alright, so the next topic I had was, let's take Jordan's best team and put them up against all the LeBron finals teams. And let's see how the matchups will be.
Alright.
So first which would you say was Jordan's best team?
I was thinking about this. Mm-hmm. I said you know, Jordan dominate. The difference between Jordan and LeBron is, you know, Jordan dominated the league for 6 years. You know, the first and the second three-peat. The mystique of Jordan is niggas always say, "Oh, he could have got 9. Oh, if he never retired, he would have kept on winning." Let's take a quick look on Basketball Reference and see who he lost to the year before he went to his first finals. I feel like that would be important to look at. And
look at it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look at Does it say champion? Alright, before the Bulls, when the Rockets won in 94-95. Now, where are the Bulls? The Bulls lost to the Magic in 6. In 95. Where's Jordan? Jordan played 6. No, is this the season where Jordan retired? Because he ain't won no finals up to this point. Wait, no, 95, that's the second three-peat. My bad. Hey, I'll take responsibility.
You all good, man.
We gotta look at. He won. Wait. No. Let me look. Champion. Three-peat. Okay, we gotta go to 1989-1990. When the Pistons won it all. Now, the Pistons beat the Bulls in 7 that year. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In Jordan, it was Jordan, Pippen, Horace Grant. They had the same niggas. John Paxson. John Paxson missed 1 game. But they were going up against, you know, Joe Dumars, IT, Mark Aguirre, Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer. And they lost to them boys in 7, man. Jordan averaged, goddamn, what'd he average? Oh, 32.1 points per game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. That's a pretty good stat line. Scottie Pippen, dang near no help. And about 41 minutes per game, I only gave 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. That's tough. Jordan had no help on these Bulls teams. In 1990, he took them boys to 7. The Bulls, they never had the lead in the. They went down 2-0, then they won the next 2, then they lost 1, won the next one, and then they lost the last one. It just seems like Jordan just didn't have any help. But it's the Pistons. I say you substitute. That's what I want to say. The mystique of Jordan is Jordan could have done it all these years. I disagree.
Me too.
Because I feel like, you know, Jordan is still great because he dominated the league for 3 straight years, 2 times. You know, there's nothing you can do. You knew who was gonna make it to the finals. You knew that they were gonna win the whole thing, and you knew who was gonna be Finals MVP. You know, that's Jordan. The thing about LeBron is a different kind of being elite. You know, LeBron is known for taking, you know, NBA players that wouldn't be even in the starting lineup for most teams to the NBA Finals. I'll say that. I don't want to say garbage NBA players, but I'll say, you know,
you can really say. I'm sorry to cut off your quick little rant, but you can say every time LeBron has left a team, what is their record their next season?
The trash.
All right.
Exactly. And it's like, When Jordan, and it's like, you can say Scottie Pippen was young when they lost to the Pistons the first time. Let's look at the season before 1990. Let's look at the 89 season when the Pistons won again. Now, the Pistons beat the Bulls in 6 that year. And same. Oh, this Bulls team did have Scotty. Scotty was 23. Jordan was 25. Michael Jordan averaged 29.7 points per game. Scotty averaged 9.7. So, the thing that I'm seeing, the common thread is Jordan. So when people was really saying Jordan needed Scotty, I guess they wasn't capping.
Because the common denominator is, Scotty's got better either offensively or defensively.
I think the mystique of, but that's all I'll say, is the mystique of Jordan is Jordan won 6 straight. People forget that, after Jordan came back from retirement the next time, he went to the Wizards. Wizards ain't doing much. Because he was hooping with, a team that wasn't great before. And when he was on the team, they wasn't great after. But think about LeBron, I'll say this. LeBron has some losses that,
questionable.
LeBron has this, very quick. Like when he lost to the Mavericks with D Wade and Bosh, I don't give him a pass. I feel like if you're supposed to be historically great, you gotta win that series. You can't lose. The other one is when he lost to Golden State the first time.
When Kyrie went down.
Love went down. I kind of looked at that one. I'm like, come on, man. I said, I know Curry's nice. Let's look back at that one. Because I got to see if Curry and Clay was going crazy. Because LeBron can't guard both of them. LeBron can't guard Curry and Clay. But let's look. That was 14-15.
Yeah, 2015 finals.
I clicked the Warriors instead of... Alright, so... Golden State 1-6. Well, what in the world? But Cleveland was up 2-1. LeBron averaged 35 point. LeBron averaged 36 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists.
He averaged a triple-double.
But the thing is, Curry only averaged 26. Clay averaged 16. Iguodala averaged 16.
Yeah, they have 4 people in double figures. Well, LeBron's team did too.
Oh, you looking too? Yeah, and I looked, and it's like, the Cavs was up 2-1. I don't know how much of a pass. Like, the Cavs got blown out the next 3 games, but I'm trying to look at box score. Yeah, it was that game was over at half. But yeah, I don't. What's that? My bad. I don't really give LeBron a pass.
I understand.
And I can hear the argument for he deserves a pass, because he had no help. Kind of like his first year when they lost. But that Spurs team, the common thread between the Spurs and the Warriors teams is they both had, Hall of Famers. Spurs had Timmy D, Manu, Tony Parker,
Bruce Bowen, Michael Finley,
Bruce Bowen,
Robert Horry, just straight defenders.
And then this Golden State team, I don't know. Iguodala is not a tier 1 Hall of Famer to me. Even though, even though he's done a lot, and he's like a made man, so to speak. You know, he's won those finals with Golden State. You know, when he was in Philly and Denver, he wasn't really doing much. To me, at least, he wasn't doing.
Man, in Philly, he was that dude with a AI.
Yeah, he was, but at the same time, Caleb, he wasn't Hall of Fame. Because I feel like the NBA Hall of Fame, they be giving it to everybody.
I agree with that, because I felt the same way when they put Yao in there.
I'd be like, they be just picking people that was recently good. Like, does Draymond really deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? We gotta really how has Draymond impacted the game besides being a 3-and-D 6'7"?
And like I've been saying, if he was on any other team, nobody would be talking about him. He's just vocal on a team that's winning. You know, if he was on, let's say like
Portland.
Nah, not even Portland. The Orlando Magic, ain't nobody gonna be talking about Draymond.
Yeah, because I'm like, because the Warriors, people were saying the Warriors were gonna trade Draymond for Dame. And, you know, I bet Draymond said, you can't get rid of me. Without Curry, like, Josh Poole, Wiggins, all these players look good with Curry. And the thing is, what makes Curry so good is Curry can give you a one-on-one matchup. Because Curry use screens.
He does.
Since Curry use screens, you know, okay, two people have to play the pick and roll. And then you gotta bring somebody and help side off the screen. So it's basically you running, and then somebody's gotta help the helper. So basically, you know, Wiggins is getting one-on-one free reign to the rim. Klay Thompson, you know, Draymond's getting the on-ball for Steph, and Klay's running off of 2 pin downs. Or Steph and Dre running a handoff, Klay's running off a pin down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, niggas is looking good. But I feel like without Steph, a lot of some players don't look the same. Like with LeBron, you know, J.R. Smith was looking decent. I'll say decent, I'll stop there. But a lot of players look bad with LeBron. I'll say that.
That is true. Like like Jordan Clarkson. When you play with LeBron, he didn't look too good, but he leaves and goes to a different team.
He goes
looking like
right to Utah Jazz, 6th man of the year.
Yep.
I said, how does this happen? He missing all them shots with LeBron and them. Goes to the Jazz and just goes crazy. Same with Korver. Korver set the 3-point record. Like, he hit a 3-pointer in like consecutive NBA games, set a streak. And then he comes to the LeBron and them, he bricking.
Yep. Breaking everything.
I'm like, man, Korver just can't hit a 3, and a lot of times I just be confused. But, you know, I will say, I can say this, all of the only series, because when LeBron and them lost to Phoenix, they really lost to Phoenix because they couldn't protect the rim once AD went down and DeAndre Ayton could do whatever he wanted. You know? I feel like in the playoffs, that's when big men are more important than in the regular season.
I totally agree. Because you could say, yeah, it could be the bench, but like, yeah, most definitely you need a big man presence. And, you know, even like I feel like the regular season is really like guard dominant. Because even if you like look at the Warriors playoff run, they always had 2 7-foot bigs that they'd always rotate, and that will always give people issues.
They had JaVale. Even when they had KD, they still had JaVale. They had Bogut. They had Kevon Looney. Like I feel like in the playoffs, because late time possessions, you're just gonna throw it to the big. He's gonna get 1-on-1 in the post. You're like, all right, man, post hook. You're gonna be like, hey, big man, you gotta protect the rim for us. You gotta rebound for us. What the Lakers were missing, cause the Lakers didn't have Dwight last year. They didn't have JaVale. They had Marc Gasol and Montrez. And I said, Montrez, he's 6'7".
Yeah.
That he's a wing.
Yeah,
I said, so he ain't boarding up over no 6'11", 7-foot guy.
yeah, and Montrez worked with the Clippers because you had like 4 defenders, and they were just all guarding guards, and you just had just that one big. You can't just put him straight at center.
Let me also say this. I thought about this too. I said when Montrez was on the Clippers, the reason he looked good, he was running with Paul George, Kawhi, and Lou Will. 3 niggas that take mid-range jumpers. They all take mid-range. So when you're playing against Kawhi, Paul George, if Montrez is at center, he's in the dunker spot. If they're at the high post, what you gonna do naturally? You gonna step up.
Exactly.
So they step up. They just dump it off to Montrez. He finished because he got a quick release on the layup. That's how he was an all-star. Just hanging around the rim, catching passes from Lou Will, catching passes from Paul George and Kawhi. Around the rim, big man's got to adjust, and he just scored before the big can adjust. When Montrez gets to the Lakers, LeBron ain't a mid-range guy. AD really ain't a mid-range guy. He's running with people that is 3-and-D dudes. And since he was running with people that are 3-and-D people, then he's like, okay, the bigs are just hanging on him, and he doesn't look as good because when somebody's guarding him, it's harder for him to score.
It's true.
But your topic was to try to analyze Jordan and them.
Yep.
Who
would you say was Jordan's best team?
Probably they're 95-96. They won 72 games.
All right, and it was analyzing his teams versus the final teams versus LeBron's finals teams. And the reason I was I guess wanting to do that was because this is like, like you already said, and LeBron gets a lot of hate, or he doesn't get enough passes sometimes, or sometimes he gets too many passes, and it's just like, why don't we just analyze team versus team? Because if you think about it, the eras aren't too far removed that it's just like, oh, like it's a bad matchup, because it's like, okay, like it's still like kind of the same basketball, but it's just like players versus players. Because I know when you were talking and giving your spiel, I was thinking like, from what you were saying, it seems like Jordan's hardest teams that he'd always have to go against are either the Pistons or the Knicks, and that when he gets to the finals, it's just a breeze to him, and it's just for him it was always making it out the East. Whereas for LeBron, it's always, okay, he can make it out the East, like that's not an issue, but his biggest issue is, can he get over the hump? Can they win? And then, like you said, Jordan, at first, he didn't have much help. He's out here putting up like 25 to 30 some points a game, and his second in points per game is like Scotty with like 12. And then I feel like if we were to analyze LeBron's finals teams, we would kind of get that same type of storyline. Because I'm looking now saying he lost 4-0 to the Spurs back in 07. And then if you look at it, you had Tony Parker, which was the finals MVP. Let me see. Yeah, they said he was averaging 24. So you had Tony Parker averaging 24, Tim Duncan averaging 18, and Ginobili averaging 18. And then for LeBron's side, you got LeBron at 22, and then second you have Drew Gooden at 12.8. and then Daniel Gibson at 10.8. It's just like, what can you really do? You know, because it's saying game one, the Spurs won 85-76. Game two, Tony Parker put up 30, and Spurs won 103-92. Game three, LeBron put up 25. Spurs won by 3. And in game 4, Ginobili put up 27, and the Spurs won by 2. And then I know,
those are some close games.
yeah, the games were close and whatnot. Because I know that I guess the thing is, Cleveland couldn't really score, but from what a lot of the old NBA analysts have been saying and former players who played in that LeBron era were saying is that LeBron had teammates that played their role. So they knew if they just needed to hit catch and shoot threes, that's all they're going to do. Is just catch and shoot threes and play defense. If they had their main ball handler, that's going to be the only person doing that. And then I'm thinking, if you put that 95-96 Bulls team in there, how do you think they would fare against the Spurs team with the young Ginobili, Duncan, and Tony Parker, and then a few core defenders?
You know, I feel like what's also important to look at is look at these, you know, field goal percentages. Tony Parker, for the series, from 3 he shot 57%, from 2 he shot 57%. Tim Duncan, 44%. Manu, 43% from 3. Booth Bowen, about 40% from 3. You know, when I look at the Bulls, if we look at it, you know, the best Bulls team, I think the best Bulls team has a chance because the Spurs' best players are 2 guards and a big. The Bulls' best players that year, 2 guards and a big. You know, Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman versus Tony, Manu, and Tim. I feel like that'd be a good series. I don't know. I feel like it could go either way, honestly. Because this is one of LeBron's worst teams.
One of the worst. Man. It is. Because even if you look at LeBron's team's percentages, it's like...
But this team's strategy was, we're going to have Drew Gooden and Ilgauskas protect the rim and hopefully get some boards. And just let LeBron work the LeBron do the rest. And it's tough. Like, no, they averaged 16.5 assists per game. How did the Spurs only average 16.8 assists? The assists were a little different. But LeBron had half of the assists for the Cavs.
He had to drive and kick.
You know?
This was a 22-year-old LeBron.
But I don't know, the Bulls may get him.
I feel like, yeah, but it just depends on the matchup. Because I'm thinking, this is like a young Tony Parker who's like a lot quicker and then a lot more aggressive. So I'm feeling like, who are you going to put on him?
Jordan on him.
And then what, you put...
And Pippen on Manu.
But then Duncan and Rodman, yeah, I guess that'd be a good battle.
I think Tim Duncan would have his way against Rodman, because let's look at I'm trying to look at the playoffs. Because Tim Duncan, he also went against the Jazz. And the Jazz had
Malone, right?
Boozer.
Are you talking about...
that was back in the day. But that same year, he went up against the Jazz with Boozer. And he averaged 21.8 on 56% shooting. So he would be able to go in on Rodman. I don't think he'd have much of an issue with Rodman.
But also the thing is, who's stopping Jordan? Because I feel like everybody might average like 10 to 15 on the Bulls. I guess the superstars who need to, but at the same time I'm thinking, if they struggle to kind of stop this LeBron team, they might really struggle against that Bulls team.
I can agree with that.
Because I'm saying, like, even if you take LeBron off of his Cavs team and put Jordan on there, and he plays against the same Spurs team, I don't think that it's any change at all. Like, I don't think that they win a game or anything because it's going to be more iso ball. Like, yes, LeBron is a better scorer. Well, I wouldn't say a better scorer, but Jordan is a better, like, iso player. So the game might be more iso, and then he was more confident in his jumper and, like, just post game and all that. Because I know he'd have to go against Bruce Bowen and Michael Finley and get different looks from both of them the whole time. And then Jordan would still have his way, because I know Kobe was having his way with him, so automatically means Jordan would. So then, just for me, all that says is Jordan's still going to have his, but, like, how would his teammates react? Because I guess really the common theme is teammates and bench play. Like, especially in the finals, because like you said, you need a dominant big, especially in the playoffs. And then I'm feeling like always you need a good bench, because even if you take the Warriors teams who played against LeBron, they had solid people coming off the bench who could literally start on like any other team. Because it's like, okay, you take out Curry, you bring in Sean Livingston if you want to. You take out Draymond, you could put in Harrison Barnes. You could take out Clay, you could put in Iguodala, and then you still get kind of that two-way presence, and it's just no drop-off at all, because these are like superstars who just played on different teams, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how I'm feeling for that one. But how are you feeling?
No, I can agree with that.
Yeah. How are you feeling about Jordan versus the 2011 Mavericks? This is like you said, this is the game that a lot of people get on to LeBron for losing to.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember we were younger and we watched the game, and it's like you can't be too mad. Like, you really can't be too mad at them losing to them, because if you think about it, that was a good team.
The Spurs, yeah.
No. The Mavericks.
Mavs. Yeah, they had J. Kidd, Dirk, Marion. Like, they weren't bad. The only reason you can't give LeBron a pass, it's just different, because you don't want, like, when Jordan, like, I don't give Jordan passes for losing to the Pistons. Like, you know, like when Curry lost to the Raptors, I don't give Curry a pass. I said, man, he's supposed to be, it's like, he's supposed to be that dude. The Raptors only got Kawhi.
Exactly.
You know, people say, oh, he has Pascal, Lowry, OG, Mark Gasol. I said, Curry, they've only got Kawhi, and Kawhi's not even on you. I said, so why is y'all struggling? You know, but the Mavs were a well-coached team. You know, everybody did what they needed to do. The Mavs knew what they needed to do, and the Mavs knew how to score. And they knew how to defend. Because that's when LeBron, he was a rim, he would just get to the rim.
Yeah, but I guess I kind of feel why everybody says they should have won, because if you think about it, especially around that time period, Bosh, Wade, and LeBron were carrying their own teams single-handedly to the playoffs. And it's like, oh, all three of them together, no matter what. But I also feel like it's poor coaching, because I've never, ever, ever really understood why would you have three superstars on the court at the same time? And it's just like they can't really do anything, and then you sub them out all at the same time and just leave like one of them in, and then that person is dead tired, and then you just mess up the whole rotation rather than you just switch them periodically. And then when you need to put all three of them in, you could put all three of them in, and then they could just feed off of each other. It's like having them all start, yeah, that's cool, but then also you look at everybody else on the team, and it's just like you can't really build it. Like, if you look at it and you take away Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, or LeBron and just put one of the superstars there, they just still have Mario Chalmers, Haslam, Mike Miller, Mike Bibby, Eddie House, Juan Howard, and Joel Anthony. And it's like, if you take those names right there, those aren't quality role players that you would want to put on your team to get to the finals. You just have LeBron, Bosh, and Wade that you're relying on the whole time to get there. And even still, they struggled in the Eastern Conference playoffs. So it's just like, they went toe-to-toe with Boston, and then they get to the finals, and it's just like you still don't really have much help. And then people might be like, you don't need help. You have 3 elite superstars on the team. But at the same time, you still need role players. They didn't have a solid big that can contest with, what did they have? Like, the Mavericks had like 3 or 4 7-footers. And it's like the tallest was like Bosh, and he was maybe like 6'11", and then you take him out. I mean, Joel Anthony, Juan Howard, or Haslam, you put him on Dirk, Dirk's going crazy. They're not going to be out rebounding Tyson Chandler like that. They're not going to be out rebounding Mahimi or Brendan Haywood. If one of those guys have to run around and guarding Peja, who's running off of screens and shooting threes, that's just a bad matchup. And I just feel like, with the Heat, they were just poorly coached in that series, poor substitutions, and they just really didn't have any set role players who could really help. Because at the end of it, it's just like you have these 7-footers on the Mavericks who can score, and then you have their guards who are scoring, averaging dang near double-doubles and putting up good production numbers. And then it's like, if you look at all of the games, the ones that it's looking like, so the Heat won game 1 fairly close, Mavericks won game 2. All these games are pretty close. And then it's like, and then you look at who was leading in points. Dirk's putting up dang near 30 points, except for one game. It said Jason Terry put up 27, and then Dwayne Wade put up 32. But then if you look at the rebound battle, you see that it's always been the Mavericks winning the rebound battle. So it's like that's big too. They're winning the rebound battle, and they were just shooting better percentage wise, even if it's just by a little bit. But that goes a long way.
I agree, man. I think that the Mavs also having Tyson Chandler and telling them to sit in the paint, contest LeBron, really helped them out. Because LeBron was just trying to get to the rim, D-Wade trying to get to the rim. You have a good rim protector. And then you have Dirk on offense who Bosh was probably checking him. And it's like, well, Dirk gonna get what he want on Bosh. It's hard. But, I just wanted to say this. They said that Stetson Bennett coming back to UGA. And that JT Daniels going to transfer.
He ain't got a choice. He got to. Yeah, but I was going to say, it goes back to what you're saying about you need a quality big, because even if you think about it now, they could just have Tyson Chandler and Dirk just sit and paint and just put like a wing on Bosh and put a wing on LeBron and D-Wade, and then what? If they try to drive to the rim, you got 2 7-footers that you finna meet right there. And then it's like, even on like defense, it's just like, okay, if you got Bosh guarding Dirk, okay, you got Tyson Chandler who's gonna have a mismatch, and then that creates mismatches for like everybody else. And then to reference 2K, that Bruiser really be doing something in the real game. You just keep running against like a brick wall or bodying with somebody big, you get tired easy. So then that just messes up everything. But how do you feel like Jordan's team would do against that Mavericks team?
I think the Mavericks beat them. The Mavericks team wasn't bad. I just don't give LeBron a pass. Because the Mavericks have bigs, Bulls ain't have no bigs. I feel like, because you saw the Bulls, they barely beat the Jazz when the Jazz just had Karl Malone.
Exactly. Yeah, because, granted, Jordan, he'll probably get his, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think they have anybody to guard Dirk and then stop Dirk. Because at the end of the day, it said Dirk averaged 26 points, 9 rebounds. Dirk probably is really going to get his 30, like regardless. And then it said Tyson Chandler had the most rebounds with 193, and it's like you got two of them rebounding. Okay, the Bulls just can't miss any shots, and you know the offense is primarily just gonna run through Jordan. So it's just like they don't really have anything to stop them. Now guard versus guard, yeah, okay. Bulls probably have a better matchup, but if we go big men and bench, I feel like the the um the Mavericks have like a better team because you have Barea coming off the bench, Jason Kidd coming off the bench to kind of run that offense, and then you have Sean Marion too who can hit threes. You have Stevenson who was a defender, and then you have Peja who can just hit threes too, just off the screen.
Mhm.
All right, so we don't have to go over the Thunder. All right, how do you feel about the Bulls versus the 2014 Spurs with a young Kawhi, Duncan Ginobili?
Mm,
And
I
Parker?
think that might be too much for the Bulls.
You think so?
Mhm. That's off the strengths of Spurs. They got Tim Duncan, Splitter, Manu. They got shooters. Like the Spurs were the first team that was really shooting threes because they had Patty Mills, Danny Green, Gary Neal, all just 3-point shooters, and they would shoot threes in transition. So I feel like the Spurs would be too much for them.
Yeah, I totally agree because it's like they have a good starting five, then they have a good bench, and then it's like it's like no matter what, every game there's always going to be somebody that you're not expecting on that Spurs team to go off, and they just gonna like just go off and go stupid because like you might not know it, but Danny Green might just go off, or you might be sleeping and Ginobili goes off, or Corey Joseph goes off, or Patty Mills might go off. So yeah. So overall, like you said, we're not giving LeBron any passes because at the end of the game, whoever you go up against, you gotta win. Especially on the
I
biggest
give them a
stage.
pass for losing to Golden State when they had KD.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah. I mean, there's no question that I don't. That team might honestly be the greatest team of all time.
Yeah, the best team ever assembled, man. No doubt. Started 5 or 4 Hall of Famers, and they still had Iguodala, who's gonna make the Hall of Fame, I guess. But you know, that's 5 Hall of Famers, and 4 of them was in their prime.
Yup.
But they did almost lose to CP3 and the Rockets. But the Rockets were shooting threes every possession. They were playing Warriors ball, man.
Yeah, but also if you think about it, like James Harden was the only person that I saw who could beat the Warriors by himself. Because even like the years that they always,
But he was just drawing crazy fouls.
he was.
He was going crazy too. But no, he was doing his thing. You can't knock him for drawing fouls because that's basketball. But now without all the fouls, you know, he's kind of cooled down on his effectiveness.
So, I guess since we're done with that, and you brought up Stetson Bennett, are you caught up in the hype on him?
No, he's a good college player. I'll leave it at that. Like, I saw him in the championship game. He's decent. Like, in college, like, I never was high on Mac Jones when he was on Alabama. I said, you know, Mac Jones ain't great. But then Mac Jones, he gets to the NFL, he goes crazy. You know, I ain't high on Stetson Bennett. But, hey, Stetson Bennett, he could go to the NFL and go crazy. I don't expect it. I don't think he really did anything for them Georgia teams.
Yeah, man. Me neither. Yeah, I wasn't too
Because
long.
he could push the ball. You know, he's a good solid player. I feel like I feel like JT Daniels. I don't know how good he was, but I feel like he probably could have done the same thing as Stetson. But Stetson, he had a little bit of wheels. But the reason that Alabama lost to Georgia is like they couldn't get that Georgia defense. Everybody was saying they're elite all year. I was like, okay, whatever. But they were like they would get goal line stands. Like it's different in college than in like high school.
Yep.
Because college, holding people to three is a big deal. High school, mostly people go for it on fourth down in the goal line because people don't have a kicker. But it really impacted Bama when like Bama had a drive. They were in Alabama, like Georgia territory, and third down. Bryce Young has somebody wide open and he slips and falls. Or, third down, Alabama's at the Georgia 6 or 8 yard line. He throws a pass to the tight end. The tight end gets the ball knocked out of his hands. And instead of 7, Alabama's getting 3. Like those 3, like Georgia really beat Alabama by like a possession.
I mean, but
Alabama was.
But a lot of people be saying that if Alabama had their players, it would have been a totally different.
If Alabama just had Jamison Williams, they would have been more than enough. I'm not even gonna hold you. It would have been just like the championship, because the Alabama defense held them long enough, and like it would have really like they would have been able to get. Because the thing is, once Alabama's receivers went down, they couldn't push the ball downfield. They were playing like Pittsburgh, just short routes. Because Georgia had the speed advantage. It's like Georgia wasn't afraid of getting beat deep, so they're like play everything underneath. And Alabama was able to go like Georgia had a cornerback who started out as a receiver at Clemson. And he's playing corner. I said that's disrespectful to any receiver to be saying I'm getting clamped up by someone that went to go play receiver at Clemson. This isn't even somebody that got recruited to play DB.
Exactly.
I said that's disrespectful.
That is, man.
That's like for me, that's the equivalent of me saying, if somebody saying, oh yeah, this guy's on football scholarship, but he just is a dual sport athlete. And he's out here giving me buckets on the basketball court. I said, this guy ain't even like, yeah, okay, he's getting to the rim. I said, but still, like, he's not even a hooper. Like this guy on Georgia, you can tell he's a receiver, because he's playing the ball. He's not even playing the man. He's just playing the ball. And I'm like, bro, and these dudes is not getting them with no routes or nothing. Every time they threw it his way, he's knocking it down. I said, that's embarrassing. But yeah. And then Georgia, Alabama didn't have this Alabama team was bad, but it was impressive that they won the SEC, that they beat Georgia once. Like at the end of the day, they beat Georgia once, and Georgia beat them once. You can't say injury saved Georgia, because they did save Georgia.
Yeah, they did, because Georgia was struggling.
Yeah. Like once Jamison Williams went out, I bet at the stadium the Georgia fans were like, "Oh man, he's out, but we may win this." Because I told Dad, I said, when Jamison Williams was out, I told him, I said, once Georgia takes the lead, I'm going upstairs. I'm not watching this no more, because it's gonna be over. And it was.
It was. So was.
Yeah, my professor for this chemical engineering class, he said on the homework sheet it said homework's due the 25th, but on Canvas it's due the 23rd. So I'm gonna just have to get to that this weekend.
Yeah, but dude,
or probably tomorrow.
Do you know the one receiver from Ohio State, the Jackson Ynbab dude, whatever?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel like when he could be probably one of the biggest steals of the draft if he gets right.
I agree.
Because they have him in the slot, but it's just like he's just not quick. Like I feel like if he gets like quicker, that he could like really be an issue. Like, and it works on like his route running a little bit because he can catch and he can get open because he always has a mismatch. It's just it's just like to me he's just not like quick enough.
No, I agree. He can be a problem. I agree. He's got the makings of being a issue.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, but you ready for the next topic?
How many we getting through? We gonna get through all 9?
Probably just a couple more. Probably not all 9, but maybe like 5 more, whatnot. Because these are pretty quick. How do you feel the game of basketball is going to change in the next 10 years?
I don't know. I feel like 3-point shooting is such a big thing. Like, the only way I feel like basketball could change more is that with this whole change of mindset with people, because it used to be about chasing the bag, but now it's more about chasing happiness. I feel like people could just start teaming up, taking, like, NBA wise, I feel like people could start taking pay cuts to really make super teams, because they're like, hey bro, I don't care, I don't need the money. And I feel like younger kids, the way it could change for the younger kids game is, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like people could become more passive, and throwing flashy passes could be cool again, and like finding your teammates could be cool again. Because I feel like it's gonna come to the point where scoring isn't as fancy as it is now. Like, if you hit a setback 3 now, everybody's like, ooh. But I feel like later maybe, oh man, you're the person that broke down your defender and set him up. That's more impressive.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the only way I see it could change.
Okay.
I feel like defense will change because I feel like there may be a rule like some that people will become smarter defenders, as they're like trying to eliminate flopping. That eventually it's going to come to the point where defenders can get away with a lot more because people are trying so hard not to flop that people are getting pushed and like fighting through it.
I agree. Yeah, I can get down with that. I know. I'm just thinking it's just like with everything how it's evolving, and it's like threes are like a super big thing that, especially in like the next 10 years, that we're like me and you've already said in like previous episodes with Soren, just previous conversations, that the game is going to be more like bigger. So we're going to start seeing like 7-foot point guards are going to be pulling now, and like everybody's just going to be like a lot more taller in the league. Because even you see it now, it's just like even the big men in the NBA, they're starting to get more comfortable bringing the ball up the court, running the offense. Even if you see in their like summer drills and summer workouts and stuff, they're coming out here pulling threes, pulling out ball handling moves and all that. And it's just like, dang. So, yeah, you just that's kind of how I see it.
No, I agree. I feel like that's right. That's correct. That right now the big thing is length.
Yeah, length for sure. So the next one is, do you feel like the IRL basketball scene is ruining basketball?
I don't know, man, because I feel like, we're not kids. I'm like, the kids nowadays that like middle schoolers, they're watching Devontae Friga, Nick Britz, Ball is Life groups. They're the ones that really be out there. Then you got the diehard Hooper that is out there watching the group. But what I'll say is, I don't like it because like it's not that I don't dislike it, but it's like it makes the game more about flash, which isn't bad. It's good for the game to be about flash, and show people you're nice. But it's like, everybody ISOing, which is cool. I like ISOing, but I feel like it impedes. Like real good players want to. Like it can impede development. Like, do you think it could impede development if you're watching? Oh man, these people are just ISOing, not playing within the flow of the group. Like that's how AAU is. Like a lot of AAU teams, they don't run sets. Like a lot of the teams with all the highly sought after recruits with just athletes, they don't run sets. They may say, okay, pick and roll, 4 out, 1 in, pick and roll. That's it. But they're not saying, go get them a pin down. Let's run some 5 out. Let's run a set play. They're like, all right, 4 out, 1 in motion. Exploit, try to find a matchup, which is basketball. So it's just basketball is just so different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different ways to play. So
The only reason I'm kind of against it is because I just feel like the way it's played is just not it for me. Because it's just like it prioritizes, from what I've seen, like a lot more fighting, selfishness, and just overall bad basketball. Because it's like, bro, like
it's not good basketball.
Your teammates are open. It's like it's not about winning. It's more of
it isn't.
I'm just out. Yeah, I'm out here trying to put up 15 on my team's 15. And then whereas, like, let's say like if me and you, when we're at Georgia State or we were just running like park somewhere, it was prioritized with winning. And then it's like
and staying on the court.
Exactly. Nowadays it's like, okay, you might be out there, and then now you got some dude who's just trying to go off for like 15 and not even pass the ball, trying to do what some YouTubers doing.
Nobody passes on game point.
Exactly. And then also, I'm just like, yeah, it's just, to me, it's just like ruins like the team aspect of basketball, because it's like they're not playing basketball to play basketball. It's more of, oh, I'm just here to showcase myself. And then it's like, now they're going to all these different parks and just playing against all these different people. And then like it's cool that, okay, you're bringing out the community and you guys are all together and just hooping, but at the same time it's just like, now these kids are going to just see, oh, this is how I need to be playing basketball. This is how I'm going to get noticed, by just being selfish and doing all this foolishness.
No, I can agree with it. It's just not the way we grew up hooping. Because when we grew up hooping, it was all about, you want to win.
Exactly.
It wasn't about being, because when we grew up, I feel like sports and youth sports, it goes in waves. Like when we were younger, the cool thing to do was play football. And like I felt like when we were younger, and growing up, it was cooler to play football until like really 2015, 2016, when it was Curry and them. When Curry got on the scene, that's when it was cool. Oh yeah, we hooping, we shooting threes, we shooting crazy threes and all that. I feel like when we was younger, it was like, oh, Vince, you had Mike Vick, then you had Vince Young, Reggie Bush. You had coming off of Randy Moss, all these real good NFL players that, everybody wanted to moss somebody. Everybody wanted to be like Reggie Bush, juke somebody out of their shoes, or be like Michael Vick and be a scrambling quarterback. And the football video games were good. NCAA football was fun. Madden was fun. It was all football. It was just the BCS championship. Super Bowl was decent. That's when you had, a young Tom Brady. The Steelers were good. Ravens were good. Like every NFL team was good, except for like the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jaguars. Teams were good, and you knew which teams were bad. Like the the big brands were good, and I felt like it was cooler to play football than basketball. But then what happened is Curry started exploding. Shooting all the threes. Everybody thought it was cool to shoot threes and then be on basketball because people could see who you are. And then in the NFL, you're kind of penalized for celebrating. But now stuff has changed, where the NFL is trying to get more of that. Oh, it's cool to be in the NFL. Like, you can celebrate, you can dance, you can do all this, but then it leads to, you got the old generation of NFL coaches. Like, I saw in the Steelers that they're like, why we doing all this dancing when we losing? We losing, we catching passes and we dabbing. We dabbing while we losing, and it's I felt like when we was younger, it was cooler to be football than basketball. But now I feel like when we were in elementary school, nobody was hooping. Everybody was on the football field.
It's true.
But I feel like if you go to an elementary school now,
Everybody
like
playing basketball.
Everybody's hooping.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's playing basketball.
Yeah. So do you feel like basketball is going to eventually surpass football in the ultimate sport?
I feel like it'll come back around to football. I don't know when. I feel like it is kind of trending that way because you got Mahomes. Like, Mahomes kind of swayed it. Oh man, I want to be that quarterback that can sling it. I feel like what we're really waiting for is that next great running back. Because you got to think, you got Joe Burrow, you got Jamar Chase. Those are already like, Jamar Chase mossing people every week. You know what I'm saying? I feel like eventually, and then like Curry and them, bad. Like, if you look at either LaMelo, Zion, Ant Edwards, Mikal Bridges, that's not the same as Curry, Bron, KD. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it'll swing back towards football. I say what they're really waiting for is that next like elite running back and those elite electrifying returners. Because back in football's prime, we got to think Vince Young, Reggie Bush, Ted Ginn, Devin Hester, Mike Vick, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. You got good Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Brian Urlacher. All these people were in the league at once. Troy Polamalu. All these people were in the NFL at once. Like, you have great returners, great QBs, great linebackers, great running backs, great receivers. It's like, it was cool to be in the NFL. But now, like, if I look at the NFL now, who's a great returner?
You'd have to look.
Maybe Tyreek, and Tyreek don't really return it. It's mostly Cole.
It's true.
I'm like, there's plenty of great QBs, great running backs. I couldn't tell you. People say, oh, Derrick Henry. I'm like, Derrick Henry, he's running people over. Derrick Henry ain't, one-on-one juke you out your shoes, one-on-one spin you out. Derrick Henry's one-on-one, I'll give you the stiffy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also I feel like you're saying with the superstars, it's just everybody is kind of close in skill level now. And it's like, because like even if you watch like highlights on YouTube, it's like there's really nobody with breakaway speed. And it's like even at the high school level, everybody is about the same. It's like these 5 stars going against like these no stars, and it's just like they're still competing in football and in basketball. And even at the college level, it's just like everybody is about the same. Whereas if you go back to, I guess when we were coming up, there was a big significance in like an elite player and then just like a regular player or a below average type guy. And it's just like even at the NFL level, it's just like you have these dudes who probably a couple years ago would be super elite players, but they're not. They're just average. Even in the NBA, you have dudes who have talent who could have been super elite, but they're just average. Because even if you look at some people who are supposed to be 5 stars coming out of high school, they weren't even that good in high school or in college, and then in the league, they're not doing nothing. So,
I feel like that's a good point.
yeah, I just feel like that's one of the big reasons. Do you feel like Nintendo will ever fall off?
No,
You don't think so?
not in our lifetime.
Yeah, because I was thinking,
Like Nintendo's already like. You see the new Mario Party? It's just old Mario Party levels.
I've seen it.
So it's like, and they're thinking about just making, instead of making Smash Bros, like Nintendo fighters, like not like Dragon Ball fighters, but like just all Nintendo people.
And just have them all just fighting.
No, my bad. Not Mario Kart, Nintendo Kart. My bad.
Oh, we just
So
all
instead of just
Nintendo
Mario
people?
people, just all Nintendo people. So it's like Smash Bros. But Mario Kart. And I'm like, Nintendo, the way now, I feel because Nintendo's getting close, and this is what's got me excited for Nintendo, and why Nintendo was really trying to ban emulation. It's because Nintendo is trying to capitalize on emulating their game. So right now for the N64, for the SNES, all the old system, well, not really the whole, maybe not the whole N64. I think no, I think the whole N64, SNES, you can play those games, and you can play them online. It's like, it's kind of like remoting into a console, but it's not like you can play them online for like with leaderboards, but you can say, oh, 2-player online, somebody will load in with you, y'all can play a versus match. You know what I'm saying? Or you can play with friends. Y'all can, like, if me and you had a Switch, we could play Mario Kart. Me, you, and Mario could play Mario Kart. Me, you, and Mario could play Smash Bros. I feel like Nintendo's capitalizing on all their old stuff. Now, I'll say that to say this. Nintendo's new stuff hasn't been as good as their old stuff. I'll say that as a fact.
So do you feel like Nintendo's like running out of ideas for just new games?
Yeah.
They're kind of like burnt out. They're like, we've done everything already.
Like Nintendo's thing now is, all Nintendo's doing now is, which has me excited, is they're bringing back all their old stuff just with online play. And so eventually they're gonna have Game Boy Online, and when they have Game Boy Online, I'll be like, alright, Gabe, it's time to get your Switch. We're gonna put money together so you can get you the Switch so we can play backyard football online. You know, eventually they're gonna have Smash Bros. Melee online, or they're gonna re-release Melee with some online features. That's what I feel like is definitely gonna turn into with Nintendo. Cause Nintendo, the well is tapped out. There's only so many, like Mario. Have you seen Mario Maker?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, Nick, like they have the community making levels. they have their, they make their little Super Mario World stuff like that. But they're like, okay, we'll just make Mario Maker, and people have fun just beating difficult community levels. And you know where that idea came from? If people had Flash games on computers where it was like pseudo Mario games just with harder levels, and they're like, well, if people are already gonna make a Mario game, why don't we just make a Mario game where people can create their own levels and get paid at least?
Exactly.
That's how they did it, and that's what Nintendo is about right now. I feel like if they can't, keep on, they need to. I don't know. You go. How do you feel? You think they're falling off?
I wouldn't say they're falling off. Kind of like what you said, just open up, like, I guess, an idea for me, or just a thought that's like, oh, Nintendo could just stay relevant and successful just remastering a bunch of old
Yep.
Game Boy games,
Hmm.
GameCube games, DS games, and just putting it all on the Switch, and just they could just re-release those for like more prices and just add more DLC and just remake the game.
Hmm.
But I
Cause
don't
they.
know. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I don't know if Nintendo will ever fall off because there are new kids every year, and it's just like
Hmm.
their market has always been like elementary school
Kids
kids. So it's just
and
like
families.
exactly. So it's just like you really got them from like 6 to 12, really guaranteed.
Cause if you think about it, Mario games aren't hard. You
They're
know,
just long.
Mario. Yeah. Who you? So you get. If we got Ava, Super Mario Bros. 3, the game we had. Well, if we gave it, Ava's a little too young. If we gave it to Grace,
Give it to
Grace
Ezra.
can get probably through. Ezra maybe a little too old for the Game Boy. We'd have to give him some on the Switch. But if we gave it to Grace, she could probably get through the first two worlds, no sweat. World 3 to World 6 or World 3 to World 9 is going to be a sweat fest. Because the difficulty starts increasing, like that sun comes and starts hitting you. You gotta save them lives, you gotta save them mushrooms. It's not easy. That's how Mario, the thing about Mario is you can give it to kids and the kids can play it for hours. Mario Kart isn't, if you play the circuits, it's not hard. And kids can play them circuits as much as they like. They don't even have to touch online play. And, it's easy, quick, easy fun.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's never, like, Nintendo's never gonna stop selling it. And then when you get online, there is a eventual skill gap. Like if you don't know how to drift in Mario Kart, you're dead in the water for the most part. If you play online, because people is gonna get those mini turbos all over the map. But this most recent Mario Kart is very user friendly. I will say that because I never ever drifted before, and I'm on this Mario Kart. I'm drifting like
You
crazy.
drifting like you are. But that
Mhm.
brings me to the next topic. How do you make a skill gap in 2K? Because Mario Kart, they have a skill gap. Call of Duty has a skill gap. Smash Bros has a skill gap. Most fighting games have a skill gap. Madden has a skill gap. So,
I feel like 2K skill gap comes in shooting. I feel like that's the original because I feel like that's the skill gap because I feel like you make a skill gap by you don't need a high rating to shoot. So I say that because if you don't need a high rating to shoot, the good players will be able to, cause like like certain builds that we've played against in the rec, if they're gonna make the shot, they gotta green it.
hmm
So if 2K's like, yeah, you can run around with a 44 3 ball, but if you don't green it, it's not going in. And then that just gives people the ability to put badges on finishing, playmaking, and defending. Then I feel like that's how you make the skill gap. I feel like 2K's idea of a skill gap is, you know, we're gonna punish you for not having speed. Like I feel like this 2K22 is a good balanced game skill wise. But how do you think they put skill gap in it?
well, I think because it's like I kind of feel like there's like two things. Either do you put skill gap in my career, or do you put skill gap in that kind of my team play now mode? And then it's just,
I've seen the My Team, bro. The My Team is a hellscape.
man, I bet.
It is because the AI. So what people do is they let the AIs guard the user. But the thing is, they know they. It's just like what I've seen. Like they have to do so. People's just running around crazy trying to hope for steals. and hope for people to, but that's, it's like it's not basketball. You don't see people playing help side. They have it, they adjust their settings so there's no help side, and they let the AI guard ball, and they try to find where the next pass is. Because if I'm honest, alright, if you're not jab stepping or you're not running and doing step backs, the AI can clamp you up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know you'd beg to differ with your behind the back move,
No, I've seen
but
it. Yeah,
eventually,
yeah, they
yeah,
gonna
the
pick
AI
up
gonna,
on it.
yeah. So I'm like, the AI gonna clamp, and what they do is they off ball, and if they see you hit the step back, they'll click on and guard it, and then click back off. But if you're not hitting the step back, they're letting the AI guard you, and they're trying to see where you're passing next, and they're just trying to pick off the next pass, and it's just a hellscape. Because if any, and it's just not. I feel like when 2K makes their game, they make it with my career in mind, like my career and online in mind.
Yeah, and I totally agree. But I guess,
And I feel like that affects the other game modes.
yeah, oh yeah, because even in Madden, how they have the yard and how they have how like they like make the yard easy with the speed and they make them jog. That transfers over to Mutt in the play now
Mhm.
because it's just in the game and it just messes up everything. And then
Mhm.
I guess for me, the only way I could think of a skill gap is if they made the game kind of like 2K19, my career wise, where they have the badges for you, and then you have to perform well enough to earn those types of badges. Not, oh, you get to put it on this build. So like, whereas like
Mm.
you have to be in the my career builder to really find a build that works, and then you are like kind of forced to have your friends or find other people who can make
Mhm.
other builds to complement you. Whereas everybody's just trying to make a high jutsu build because it's like, okay, if you make like a 5'10" play shot, you shouldn't be able to get intimidator. You should, I mean, I understand getting,
No, I agree.
I understand getting like maybe gold clamps or
Pick dodger.
yeah, pick dodger and pickpocket. And then whereas if you go to like a 6'4" play shot, you might get those on silver or whatnot. But I kind of feel like they should do what they did of they cap us off at where our rating should be at, and they cap off where the badges should be. And because a lot of people that I've been seeing in the 2K community just need to be controlled. They just need somebody to be like, this is what it's going to be, and this is how y'all going to deal with it. Because if they keep trying to give these people freedom, they're just going to expect more and more and more than what they can already give. Because I guess when I was in the YouTubes in 2K19, I didn't really see too many complaints. And if I did, it was just like, okay, they just make another build. And even in 2K20, it's like, okay, if there was a complaint, you just made another build. And then in 21, it's just like, okay, if it's a complaint, then they feel like, oh, there's like more that they'll just go make like a play shot and whatnot. And then even in 22, it's like they complain because everybody just wants these OP builds. They want a build that can dribble, shoot, defend, and be just a straight demigod. Whereas if you made people choose, okay, if you get this build, this is going to be your strengths, this is going to be your weaknesses, I feel like it would balance it out more to where it's like you'll have to be really good with a certain build. Because even with your glass lock from 2K20, you didn't have a high shooting rating, but you could shoot threes because you worked on your timing and then you got the badges necessary. Even in your 2K19 build, you would have like the badges necessary to do some of the things that you could do in the game. And it's like even with me and my 19 build, my build wasn't great at first until okay, I got the badges and I understood how to play the game. You know, so
Mhm.
and then these 2K people are the ones who make the game, so they should know the ins and outs of the game. So they should make it to where okay, you know, this is just the strength of it, this is a weakness of it, and just if you don't like it, you can always make a new build, but cap it off to where it's like, okay, if you're pure lockdown, you shouldn't get like Hall of Fame catch and shoot or Hall of Fame blinders or Hall of Fame dimer or any of the playmaking badges. If you're just like a pure lock, you should be just straight defense. You know, but also if you're like a 6'3" pure lock, you shouldn't be able to out rebound 7-footers. You should really be a perimeter lock who just locks down guards, and then that just be your strength. And then you just gotta surround yourself with other people who are good.
Yeah, I feel like that is really a page out of 19 and like 18's book with the. Because the thing about 2K is, I agree, because I feel like in 19, the only complaint I saw on YouTube was people was complaining about stretches. But they were complaining about stretches because people were in the park running twos. And when you run twos, typical twos teams are a PG and a big man. So when you run twos, and if people come in there with a stretch and a big, the stretch is shooting over the guard, and people are just complaining like, "Hey man, I can't get a contest," because people weren't. Sometimes people are pressing wide, you know, but the stretches were just shooting over the guards, and people were complaining because they're like, "I can't steal the ball from them, and I can't get a stop on defense." But in the rec, I didn't have a problem with stretches because I remember, I learned, hey, when they throw the pass to the stretch, even if I know it's coming, I should not press X. Because if I press X and I don't get the steal, they're getting the 3. And I feel like 19, it was balanced in that there were no OD builds. But I feel like the game of 2K has changed because a lot of people, like, well, I will say this, the badges, they help builds become a little more unique, because the thing about 19 is everybody had like the same build, and one thing is you knew what people's builds could do and what they couldn't do, you know. Like I knew you know, I had a every shot creating athletic. I knew they could shoot from the corner. I knew they could dunk. I knew they couldn't rebound. I knew they couldn't protect the rim. So I was like, okay, every shot creating athletic is this. Every stretch has these badges. Every, you know, play shot has these badges. I knew that. But if you come, you know, like everybody, you know, watches the same YouTube videos. Everybody makes the same play shot builds and those type builds. But like for my sharpshooter build, like look, I only have 62 vert and I'm 6'7". You know, I have no business having a rebound chaser on gold.
It's true. That's very true.
62 vert, 6'7", but I got rebound chaser on gold. I got 62 vert. I got chase down artist on bronze. You know, I have the lowest wingspan, but I got interceptor and pickpocket on bronze. I've got no business having those badges. But I feel like, you know, I get every single playmaking badge on this build. I don't know how with my low playmaking. I get every single finishing badge but one. But I only get one finishing badge. And I get 33 ball badges, but I guess I say all of that to say, you know, I agree with you with the 2K needs to rein in these builds, because I feel like on next gen it's a little like next gen is better because Mario said, you know, they don't have the pie charts, so you put stats into what you want to put stats into. But I don't know. I feel like my issue with this 2K is I don't really have issue with it. Like the thing is, I'll say about these 2Ks is I felt like in 19 and 20 when we would lose like out of our control type stuff. Like we would lose because the stretch is going crazy. And well, we wouldn't lose a lot in 19. But if we did, it's because the stretch was going crazy. In 20, if we lost, it was to 2-3. And I feel like in 20 and 22, the similarity is there's a lot more people running with 5. I feel like that's kind of ruining 2K. Because as you said, because people run with 5, and then like, people say, okay, I'm a lock. And so whenever they're like, they find a 5, they say, hey, I'm a lock. I'm going to run 2-3, and I'm going to just play lock. And by lock, they mean they're going to play the top of the 2-3 zone and just spam X.
Just reach.
Or if people run 5 out and the 5 out's chopping up to 2-3, they say, hey, I'm a lock. I'm going to just guard ball and sit corner on O. That's what people are in 2K. It's not like basketball anymore. Like when I made my first build, my glass cleaner, when I made that build on this game, I was like, okay, I want a build that I can hop in a wreck with and be effective. And the problem I ran into is I can't hit jumpers. I could get to the rim. I felt like pretty decently. I could play good defense. I just didn't feel like I could I couldn't hit my threes. And then I was playing enough with Mari, and it's like the reason me and Mari was losing was I couldn't hit threes, and we were getting killed by guards. And I said, well, let me go make a guard that can shoot threes, and then maybe we won't get killed by guards anymore. And now, why do we lose?
Our teammates?
Yeah, our teammates. And we lose when we lose to 5-out pick and roll. 5-out pick and roll, left, right. We can manage, but we be losing. But I feel like the problem with this 2K is, which isn't really a problem, it's just a change, is, people make builds to play the quote-unquote compro. It's like what happened to Fortnite. You probably don't know this. This is a little,
little history lesson.
Yeah, but in Fortnite, people say there was a golden age of Fortnite, and I played in the golden age of Fortnite. The golden age of Fortnite was before it was like really like a esport. So it's like, so what the big thing is, have you seen any Fortnite where people are like building up like crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is now. People call it boxing up. So what happens is now when people get into one-on-one fights, people is so good with the building that they're building all these elaborate towers and stuff, trying to get the high ground so they can see you and take you out. When the game was in its golden age, people weren't doing that. Like, people weren't that good. To be frank, people weren't that good. So when people were like building up to try to get the high ground, it was like structures that you could shoot down, and if you shot the structure down, they would fall down, take the fall damage. Now people are building up in such a way that you can't shoot it down before they shoot you. So you gotta build up with them. And that's to say that the Fortnite golden age ended, when people started seeing how the competitive players played. And so the competitive players that play for like the big money, they play by boxing up, getting the high ground, and all that. And, regular casual players are like, hey, I want to be better at the game, I should play like that. And they practiced, they got good at the game, now they play like that. And now, the quote-unquote casual player knows how to box up, do all this stuff. So I hop in there, the normal player that doesn't play too often, I hop on Fortnite, I just get picked off like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even fun to play because I come in there, people is building like crazy, I can't really build, and I get humbled. And that's what 2K, like it started, like I was in Mo Bucket's stream, homeboy kept on saying, I'm the lock. He's like, I'm the lock. I'm a guard ball. And Mo's like, no, don't guard ball. Let the other guy guard ball, cause you're getting killed. He's like, I'm lock. I'm playing lock. you know? And it's like, bro, it's like it's not hooping. People are playing 2K, and it's just a different. It's a change.
Do you,
I know I kind of ramble.
no, you, do,
It's a bad
do you
change.
feel like 2K should try to make the game more realistic to like real NBA basketball, or they should keep it like how it is, where it's like it's
You
2K
know,
and you gotta know how to play the game of 2K rather than the game of basketball? Because I
so I
see for like
feel.
Madden, it's just like you don't like if you put Patrick Mahomes against like any regular 13-year-old, the 13-year-old might be able to beat Mahomes in the game just because off the strength of knowing the game. You can see it's cover two, and you make the right read, but you could still get picked off and all that because the game's just bad.
Hmm. No, I'll say the thing about 2K is the 2K is kind of drifted into the arcadey thing, because the most important stat in 2K is speed. That's why those 5'9" play shots were so OD, because they were so fast that what can you do? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's like they're so fast they're able to create space. So when you have these 6 foot, 6'2", regular NBA builds that only get 70 speed going up against a player shot with 90 something speed, it's just unfair. That's what I'll say. So I'll say, but the thing is, it's like if 2K changes speed and it's like, oh, the 6'4", 6'5" builds can hang with the play shots in speed, then it's like, oh, everybody's gonna run 6'5" builds and try to just create. I feel like 2K's got to do something with the dribbling, because you don't lose enough stamina on dribbling. But it's like 2K is so arcadey, and I had the idea for NBA Live. So my idea is NBA Live needs, instead of making live, they need to make NBA Street. This is probably an episode for another
I
podcast.
don't know. No, hey, go ahead. You already on it. You said make NBA
Alright, so the
Street.
NBA Street, but this NBA, and I kind of forgot my idea because I thought about it a while ago. But the first NBA Street they make should be like a free game, kind of a free game and kind of like a single player game. Like maybe charge 24, but more so a single player where you can create a player and it's just like V2 and V3 where you create a player and you go through those little circuits, like you go to the courts, and it's just you play the computer.
Hmm.
And they have the online and they have an online and quick match mode where you can use the NBA players in the street mode. So like the Lakers would have Russ, LeBron, AD, you know. Bulls have their three, and you can play online, and you can do like online private match where you can set the settings and you do public match. And I say that they could do it where the basis of the game is focused on offline.
Hmm.
So it's a offline, and you can say it's got a lot of stuff in there. Input new tournaments, like new content to the story mode. I would say on a weekly basis for a year, on a weekly basis for a year, and after the first year, then new content like every 2 months. After the second year, then weekly content, meaning then content like monthly content every 4 months.
Okay.
All right,
Hmm.
until the next game comes out. So when the next game comes out, they should have enough feedback from how the game was when you played online with the NBA players to know what the cheese was. So in the version 2 of the game, they make it like they make the like the offline, the single player story needs to be like 1.5 times the length or double the length of the on release schedule. But this time they have a online like like you can take a player online with like you get to a certain part in the story, and if you get so far in the story that like let's just say blanket. You beat the story. You're able to go online with your team. You can export a team online, and then you can play in like tournaments online against other people with your player and your team.
Mhm.
And then you can also play, and then they can have like a thing like the park where you can play pickup with other people. And I feel like then, since they know the cheese, they know it works, what doesn't work, they can say, okay, we can take it online. Because when I played you in V2, it was a good game. The only cheese is if you take off goaltending, you can sit there and goaltend the whole time. And then you got trick moves, trick counters. Sometimes the trick counter move was OD. Sometimes you can really break somebody down with the trick move.
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, you got people cheesing moves. If like people are cheesing moves for game breakers and stuff, they can patch it. But I feel like if they focus on the offline year one, year two, focus on offline with a little bit of online, and then Caleb, year three is when they try to make money. Year three is when it's like you can make the offline like an hour story. Like you can just copy paste it from year two, but online it's about taking your player into the world. So you can have affiliations, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, it's like MUT, where you can buy money, you spend money to enter in the tournaments, online tournaments, and if you win the tournaments, you unlock, like you get to get players on your team. So you're given like a base team of like 2 players to run with you. Let's say it's 3s. And then let's say like how 2K has VC, you can buy, and then let's say it's 2,000 VC to enter a game. Like you can buy 10K VC so you can have 5 entries. And then like if you win the tournament, you get the player. So let's say there's a tournament for stretch. And the tournament's just like, oh, win 5 games in a row. Or win 4 games out of 7 3 times. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then you get stretch, and that's how they'd make money. They'd make money by, hey, people don't got time to grind VC. People don't got time to grind EA bucks. People just want to pay to join the tournaments. And of course, there'd be free tournaments. There'd be free parks and stuff where you can use your players. But they'd make money by, hey, you gotta pay to enter these tournaments to get the new players. They release new players every week. Or every so often, everybody's going to be in the tournaments competing for the new players so they can add new players to the team. And then you could even have some where people could, spend money to join a one-on-one quick match where the loser loses a player.
That is a good one.
So it's like, there's so many different ways. Or like you can lose a player if they don't have a player you want, they can get double the coins. And I feel like that's how I would do it if I was EA. Year 1, focus on the offline. Year 2, focus on the offline but add the online, with the player stuff. Year 3, focus on the offline and making money. And then after year 3 you don't make another one. Unless if it like is super successful, then you make another one just focusing on the online over and over.
I totally agree. It's a great idea. You give everybody a few years of it being free. Let them know what changes are finna come with the final product, and then boom, they just are just amazed when they get the final one.
No. I'm like, so the year, like the first one, which is focused on the offline, like $20. You can charge, because it's focused on the offline. Charge it for 20. The second one, you can charge full price, 60. Since it's got like a fully fledged online. And then the last one, you can charge 60. But it's like people are gonna be like 2K. People give so much money to 2K new builds. My team, like basically, you charge 60. I like the first one's gotta be 20. And you gotta see what the cheese is. Because I don't know how people would be playing NBA Street now. If there'd be blatant cheese. How should like they got to figure out how shooting should be for online? If it should be like meter shooting or if it should be off of like player percentage, like how NBA Street V2 was, or if it should be a combination. But I feel like once you know those things, you can make a pretty good game.
It's true. That could be more the arcade fun game people go to when they get too frustrated at 2K.
Mhm. But yeah.
Well, I really don't got much else. You got any other topics?
Nah, I feel like this was a good pod, man. I feel like we can call it a stream. I know you gotta get some dinner, get to bed soon.
You know, and I gotta call these people back who've been calling me.
So yeah, I know you got a busy night. I appreciate the games these past few days, man.
Yo, likewise, man. And if you wanna hop on later, if you still up, you just let me know.
I will, man. If you wanna hop on and I'm still here, just let me know, man.
Oh, I will. I'll let you know. Oh,
all right.
What time you got class tomorrow?
I got class at 12:30.
Early.
You said early?
Yeah, that's a little early.
It is. I got class from 12:30 to 3:15. Yeah, 3:15. So I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be in them trenches.
Yeah, I'm already knowing.
But it should be alright. But it should be alright. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna get for dinner. Oh, should we do the outro? What's the outro? And then I can end the stream and talk to you about dinner.
Man, I don't know. We just, tell them Godspeed. Tell them tune in on the next one.
Alright, y'all, man.